Hello, Andy.
Hi, Dan.
So, the Friends of General Haig are here again.
Yes.
And Friends of the magazine, I like to think,
Yes,
as well.
yeah, definitely.
And brought one of your fabulous games. No, two of your fabulous games.
Yes.
We're gonna move into the future in a moment. But let's talk more about this game here, which is more your thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So, what's going on and why?
Right. So this is Gustav Adolf, King of Sweden, has invaded Poland. It's a dynastic rivalry. There's a commercial rivalry with the Poles, and he's captured the town of Dirschau, and he's keen to march north, but he can't while the Poles have a large army nearby. So the two armies have had a standoff for some weeks. There was a skirmish at the start of the day. The Poles got themselves into a situation where their army was split across the marsh, and the Swedish king thought he saw an opportunity. He rushed his cavalry out, attacked the Swedes while they were split across the marsh. Now, historically, it was more of a sort of draw, but today the Swedes didn't do very well, and the viewers may see lots of Swedish casualties at the back of the board.
Yeah.
So the Swedish cavalry were badly mauled by the Poles. The Swedish infantry have come forward, but they're just taking too many casualties, and so today is definitely a Polish victory.
Hurrah, the Poles! What have you been playing? Black powder or
pike and shot? So very similar to pike and to black powder, but slightly slower movement distances, and yes, slightly less emphasis on firepower and a bit more emphasis on melee than perhaps black powder has.
Okay, cool. Right, tell us a bit about the figures and the models on the table. So the figures are from various manufacturers,
They are. I mean, looking at my handy record, there's at least 8 different manufacturers of the main figures, and then once you get into the camp followers, it's a bit of everything. And that's one of the nice things about the 17th century, is that it's pre-national uniforms. So people are wearing costumes from the period, but it's very difficult to tell you which army is which army. So you can really mix manufacturers
and use that to your advantage as a gamer.
Yes.
And I know you were saying earlier, even into different theatres and geographically different locations.
Yeah. My collection sort of evolved across Europe into different areas. So today this is Swedes v Poles, but I'm starting to think, well, who else did the Poles fall? Oh, they fought the Ottomans. Perhaps that would be an interesting thing to do next, and I'd only have to collect the one army because I've already got the Poles.
I tell you what, that might make for an interesting article.
That would be good. I'd love to put something together on that. So yeah.
The camp's really nice at the back here. Well, the bit of a redoubt then into the camp. Is that stuff that's commercially available, or is it?
Yes, it is. Lots and lots of different manufacturers. I think the tents are the plastic ones from
Renedra.
Yes, that's the ones. Yeah. Some resin tents from Grand Manor, and I think there's the buildings are hovels, and the town walls are Magister Militum. So it's just you end up searching around the different companies, and everybody's got something different. But I'm sort of falling into the point now where I like doing the camp more than the armies. But camp followers are great because role players very much move into 17th century dress. For D&D, wenches and barmen and rowdy people. So there's a fantastic array of figures you can find that you can fit nicely into 17th century.
Yeah, you're never short of a rat catcher, are you?
No, quite.
What I like, there's the hint of the town there. Now you've done a sort of little backdrop, haven't you?
Yes.
It shows going off into the distance, I suppose.
So it would be really nice, I guess, to have some sort of sky or whatever, but to give that impression of the town going away. Apparently this is a trick that the railway modelers are very keen on. And so one of my friends is a bit of a closet railway modeller, and he kept telling me, what the railway modelers would do, Andy, is they'd put a silhouette across the back, and eventually he said, let me do it, and so he very kindly produced that, and it really sets the town off nicely, I think, doesn't it?
It does. It sets the town off nicely, and the whole game itself looks really good. So thanks very much for bringing it.
Pleasure.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
This video has been brought to you by WiPrime, Wargames Illustrated magazine's online members club. View more videos or find out more about WiPrime by following these links.